Good afternoon, everybody. It's the media guy, back again with another fantastic movie review. And if you guys are feeling very blue today, no pun intended, then don't be, because today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on a certain James Cameron type movie that some of you might have heard before, called Avatar. And no, not to be confused with the Nickelodeon series Avatar: The Last Airbender. That one's a different type of franchise in general. Just thought I'd make that clear. And have no fear, in case you guys are wondering, the plot is on the back of the DVD right here. Return to Pandora. A reluctant hero, an epic journey, a choice between the life he left behind and an incredible new world he's learned to call home. Return to James Cameron's Avatar, the greatest adventure of all time. Okay, maybe some of you are just a little confused. In a nutshell, we get to meet this guy named Jake who goes on this incredible journey to discover an interesting alien life planet full of life. Only the evil army wants to destroy it. Now Jake, as part of the Avatar team, goes on this journey to save the planet from being destroyed for good, along with some of the villagers on this planet. That's basic, and it's set in the year 2154. And I'm not gonna lie, despite the fact that I'm not a big James Cameron fan, yeah, quite a shocker, this is such an enjoyable and heartwarming movie. It does have great special effects for 2009 standards, a fantastic cast of characters, including Sigourney Weaver from Ghostbusters, and Zoe Saldana from Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. It does have an interesting plot with a beginning, middle, and end. And holy hot dang, does the soundtrack kick ass, including the action sequences too. I mean, think of Star Wars and Star Trek if it was going to be like some kind of nature documentary type TV show. Okay, yeah, okay. I know it's kind of weird for me to combine Star Wars, Star Trek, and any nature documentary show with each other. But that's what this movie reminds me of. It does remind me of some kind of nature documentary, but throw in some science fiction elements to it. I mean, seriously, this is like one of the greatest movies ever. And I'm surprised that I haven't seen a lot of videos about it, let alone see dozens of people talk about it on YouTube. Maybe there are like a few people who might have covered this movie before, but still, oh man. I honestly can't believe that it took me this long to finally watch this movie for the first time. Better late than ever. I think this movie blends the effects of motion capture and CGI, if I'm correct. Which I will admit, that does seem to be a bit of a groundbreaking technology back in the late 2000s and early 2010s. Even if it might be a controversial filmmaking technique in most people's opinion. But I'm just doing my best to appreciate how great this movie is. I actually had no clue that this movie takes place in the year 2154. So I'm guessing that's like maybe 100 years or more into the future. Okay, I guess it takes place like 134-ish. 134-ish years to the future, I think. Yeah, I could be way off though, but I know it takes place like a century and a half into the future. Boy, most filmmakers like to pick out any random year that takes place in the future. But I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. I gotta admit, the Avatar creatures are really unique in their own way. Think of humans mixed in within like a few animal features, like maybe a saber-toothed tiger and a monkey, or something, or a lemur. I mean, I'm just trying to take a wild guess here. I'm just trying to take a wild guess about what type of creatures the avatars are supposed to be. I'm guessing they're supposed to be like this ancient alien warrior tribe. Or something. That seems to be my wild guess. I do like the filming location of the jungle. I'm not sure if it like takes place somewhere in the Amazon or African jungles. Or maybe the entire place was just filmed on a sound stage against a blue or green screen. That could be my wild guess. I mean, granted, I didn't work on this movie, considering that I was probably 8 years old when this movie came out. But I do love the scenery of this movie. It does like a lot of interesting creatures. So many alien-type creatures in this movie. There's even a bunch of floating rocks all over the place. Quite unique. I do like how Jake was trying to learn the ways of the Avatar. And I guess it can be a little bit stressful at first, but I guess he did manage to get the hang of it. I gotta admit, the bad guy is quite interesting. For some reason, his name completely escapes me. They probably said the bad guy's name a few times, and I guess I must have blocked it out a few times, but he's sort of like the commander of the army who's trying to destroy the entire planet, or at least parts of it. Which I will admit is quite heartbreaking seeing that creep try to wreck the place. And I guess the entire tribe found out that Jake and Grace weren't really the Avatar, weren't really their kind, but really humans. Ooh, talk about a betrayal. And I guess Jake somehow knew this was gonna happen, but not in the most dramatic way possible. Don't you just hate the old betrayal cliche? I mean, to be fair, I don't know too many movies or TV shows that had this type of cliche, but I'm just saying. Now, a few minutes ago, I was able to recognize some of the actors and actresses in this movie. Like Sigourney Weaver, for example. You might know her better as Dana Baring from the Ghostbusters movies, as she was even in the Alien movies. And Zoe Saldana, again, I hope I'm saying her name right. I know her as Olga from Elio, a Disney and Pixar movie, and she was in all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, including as Gamora. And that includes Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, for example. Those were like the only 2 actresses I was able to recognize in this movie. Everyone else, yeah, I honestly don't know much about the rest of the cast of the movie. Zoe Saldana and Sigourney Weaver were the only ones I managed to recognize in a movie. And shoutouts to them if they've seen this movie review. Shoutouts to you two. I'm sure you two must have had a real blast working on this movie. So sorry if it seems like I don't have that much to say about this movie, except this is still quite a journey to. This is quite sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. This is quite a fantastic journey from beginning, middle, and end. Great acting, great music, great action sequences, great plot, you name it. I still think it has great special effects. I guess to you guys, this might be like your favorite movie to watch over and over and over again. And honestly, I don't blame you. So thank you so much for checking out this review of Avatar. And again, I'm truly sorry if I can't think of anything else to say. But hey, I did my best to describe this movie as best as I can. And I'll probably give this movie 5 blue stars out of 5. Since that's how great this movie is. And I'm still sorry that I couldn't think of anything else to say. But at least I still did my best to describe it as best as I can.